Take two. Okay, so okay, if um, we've had devices in our past. Okay, that's not. I'm trying to 20 minutes of script in my head. I just freelanced. I just riffed, and then I'm trying to recall all that. Okay, basically, in the past, we've had an ideal, which is life imitating art, because we've had on Star Trek. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a concept of a portable device that we can just keep in our pockets and call anyone at a very long way away? Later on, that concept was turned into the cell phone. Now, currently, I don't know if this is life imitating art or art imitating life. I don't know. They kind of appear around the same time. Which is that we have the reality and we have the fiction. Now, I want to get into the fiction first, because, again, I don't know which one came first here for these topics which I'm about to talk about. Basically, there are these two books I have on Audible called Kill Process and Kill Switch. They're pretty good. And basically, the story is that there was this hacker who got married and got into this abusive relationship, and she may have murdered her husband. Maybe. I don't know. That was all like, it was all kind of, kept kind of vague. But the thing is that she decided to go back to her job and get on with her life, and the extent of not getting on with her life and burying herself in her job for the next 10 to 15 years. And her side project is killing people by way of person of interest, the show, because the job she went with is it's supposed to be in the future, so it's not like 20 years from now or something. So Google is referenced, but in its place it's supposed to be Tomo. So if you hear Tomo, just think Google, because that's basically the same concept. So it's supposed to be future, whatever, equivalent. So she goes back and works with Tomo, which was from the ground up place where social media you could post and be with your friends, and she uses that platform as a way to, like I said, person of interest, her way into people's lives in order to find women under duress and in abusive relationships, and she goes to their house and basically kills the guy who was abusing them by way of messing with firmware of the pilot light on the heater of the house, having cars turn left off of a 200-foot cliff instead of turning with the lane, brakes going out, stuff like that. So she makes it look like an accident. And she's gotten kind of old. She's in her early 40s, and she realizes, okay, one, I'm getting old. Two, I do not like the company I'm working for anymore. The company is taking advantage of its customers. Its privacy policy, its new privacy policy, still does not say it is, a privacy policy. It says, yes, it'll keep your information falling into the hands of the guy down the street or whatever, but we'll sell it by the boatloads to corporations. Corporations, the Barnes and Noble people or the bookstore people, will sell you their data. What are their likes and dislikes of books? Here's their data. Here's, and they get back like $5 or whatever. They get their money. Oh, you people like, the food industry. Here is something. This person goes to McDonald's more often, or goes to it pretty often. Here's their eating habits. So they know who to push for. It's more specified. More of a specific and pinpoint advertising campaign, basically. Sorry, I still don't have my chair. It's over there. But anyway. But that's the problem. That's my neighbor. Sorry. He's a gamer. Anyway, the point is that she gets tired of this and wants out. And she has to kind of stop murdering people. So she opts out of that too. And she wants to create her own, you know, decentralized, monetized um, internet where it's all anonymous. You know, there's no middleman, there's no corporations. They can't, you know, sell your data to anyone. And she calls it Tapestry. And it reminds me of this cartoon I saw, which was a dead ringer for the Ren and Stimpy show creator. You know, that guy, John something. Anyway, I saw that, and it's like a 3 minute video, animated cartoon about this girl. She's in her den or whatever, and she's typing away on her computer, and she's um, on sitting on a cushion, and she comes across her two friends who are on different platforms. One's on, you know, a video chat. The other one's on Twitter. You know, and she has both of them on her computer, or whatever. So she's able to talk to both of them, but the other two can't talk to each other. So she's playing intermediary between these two. Everyone's saying, "Oh, what'd she say?" or "What's up with her?" And she had to go back and forth, and it's got kind of annoying. And she proclaims out loud, "Why can't we just be all on the same platform?" And then like some sort of like platform fairy shows up and does the ding on their computer, and then they're all on the same platform. It was supposed to be something new. I forget what it was, but or which corporation was supposed to be. But that was the thing, was that we're all. Would it be nice if we're all on the same platform so we could all just talk to each other whenever we wanted? Um, so that's basically what she does, and she explains it all in, you know, in a logical sense. She has to go out and get money, and she has to deal with men again. And she says like, never fix a coffee machine and never get a man. Never fix a coffee machine for a man, and never get it bring a man coffee. Because coffee I understand, but you know, she walks into this room and this one guy walks around these other two guys and says, "Could you help me with, or do you have any expertise in helping to fix the coffee machine?" And she gets in on him and say, "Oh, because I'm a woman, you know, why do you ask them?" It's like, you know, he's shooting in the dark. Maybe he kind of knows them enough and is looking for an actual professional. You know, they might just be coders, you know, and you know, she might actually have an engineering degree. He's hoping, you know, can you help me with this? You know, and she gets all on her high horse about it. That's the only time I dislike the character, is when she gets on her high horse about things. But you kind of get into the mindset as to why she's on that high horse constantly. Basically, she's on the defensive on with everyone because of her abuse. So, but all honestly, it's like, lady, just say no. I don't know how to fix that. That's all. That's all she has to do. But anyway, other than that, yes, she's a likable character despite her body count. Um, oh, forget to mention she also has one arm because of the accident. So it's a very character-driven story. And so anyway, so basically, Kill Process is about making Tapestry and how and why Tomo is, you know, uh, not evil by association corporation. And there's all this drama about, you know, life and death and cyber terrorists specifically targeting you and stuff. So there's all that in there too. So it's a good adventure. It's a good adventure. Very good technical adventure. That's why I keep listening to it. Along with the AI, you know, sequels, which are good. But this sets a good groundwork, even though it's not really referenced for anything else. Only the concepts are referenced later on, which are nice. But it kind of be nice if it was a bit more tied together. Anyway, point is that, and that's the first one. The second one, first one's corporate. The second one is government. So now Tapestry is under attack by the man, you know, the government. It has to overcome that because the government cannot find anyone. They can't track anyone. It's all anonymous. It's all, you know, and that's where everyone's going because everyone just gets tired of all this corporate bullshit and all the government bullshit. So now with Tapestry dominating the world, you know, and making everything fair and equal, and where you're allowed to vote on what it is you want in and out of your content. She describes it more better in the book. But anyway, so they're really good um, books and stories I like. I recommend them, and then also the sequel books, which I'll make a review on later because they're slightly more separate from this. Anyway, so that's the fiction. Now back to reality. Now, 10 years ago, there was this thing called YouTube, children. And what it was this nice little video platform where you could upload videos and share them with people around the world. It was, a platform for the masses. It was for the people. It wasn't really there to make money. It was just there, a nice little video file sharing site. That's all it was. You streamed. That was it. And it was nice. It gave people, independent people, access to just show things. When someone wants to make a property, okay, back in the day, not Ralph Bakshi, the guy that made American Tail, Don Bluth. When Don Bluth wanted to make an independent feature, and this thing's like 15 minutes, it was about a cat, a lost cat. That's how simple the story was. It was this story about a lost cat. He made it in the house and a garage of a friend or whatever, and it took months to make. There was no financial backing. So this wasn't like American Tail or anything else that this guy made. This was the financial backing of Pocket Change, and it took them forever to make this thing. It was called the Banjo Kid, I think it was called. And if you don't have financial backing, you're left with your two hands and whatever is at hand, and whatever camera you're with or whatever production quality you have. It was edit and eye, even made in the modern times. It was a lot more recent. It took 2 to 4 years by like 5 or 6 people in an apartment. Yes, it's very well done, but it still took time and effort. I'm pretty sure they had their jobs and lives to deal with, you know. So independency is this, without corporation backing or substantial financial backing, is this is this is this tediously expensive, time-consuming process. But in the past 10 years of YouTube, I have seen tons of indie stuff I don't normally see. The people that remade Raiders of the Lost Ark, those kids that made that thing for like 7 years, during their summer breaks and all that, doing it shot for shot. That was no backing for that. That was just them, screwing around in their backyard and whatever set pieces they made in that home, you know. And I never saw it. I would love to see it. And when people did see it, they saw the heartwarming passion behind it all. And it wasn't until it got into the indie film circuit that it started making its rounds and people loved it, you know. And it got notoriety. So that's what YouTube did. Is it is able to give people notoriety of their talents. VisiPop is phenomenal. People love her music videos, love her animation, and all the other people that make content that are very popular. Database, etc., etc. You just go on and on with all these people. And normally you would have to watch like America's Funniest Home Videos to see brief little anything. There were people that made like 2 to 3 minute long Indiana Jones shorts. I've seen them. That was nice, but that's the only way I would ever see them back in the 90s. Unless someone made a clip show and put them up, you never saw them. I never really went to art houses. We never had an art house in San Bernardino. Not that I was aware of or was old enough to go to. Anyway, so having having YouTube is very helpful, but now it has become completely corporatized. And even the TV is starting to impede on it, like Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph, where it's like, whoa, Turbo's nice, but let's go over here and see it play this game, and here comes Turbo saying Turbo-tastic, Turbo-tastic. It's like, dude, if we wanted to play you, we'll play you. We don't want to play you. That's why we're over here. But wherever we go, that's where the money's at. So we have to go there. And plus, the monetizations, the deletion of and taking downs and strikes of videos, and it's not for actually sometimes even over nothing. It was by complete accident. Those are more of accidents than anything else. But when they intentionally keep doing stuff, it's like, look, I only swore once. Well, then the whole video is gone. It's like, really? And TV's now encroaching on it, and we're acting a lot more like Netflix, and it's not the best ground for the people anymore. You know, you gotta get the right music. It's like not all the music in the world is, people want to hear right now is from 50 years ago or whatever. So people are now going to um, a library, which is like YouTube in the beginning. It's for the people. Oh, and everyone remember Blip? People were jumping ship from YouTube and going to Blip or part-timing it on Blip because they got tired of saying, yeah, I got 1 million views, but I still only have a couple hundred subscribers. But it's like, I'm not bringing in the subscribers, and if you don't bring in the subscribers, you're not going to get paid as much. Because you're not being paid for views, you're being paid for subscribers. That's why people were jumping ship to Blip, and then Blip failed for whatever Blippy reasons. So, having a place where you can just be and have your content be popular by its own merit and not being pushed on by anybody else, is good. People make money because they're good at what they do. They talk a good talk, or they make a good point, or they have really good animation, or they're a good editor like me. I'm a decent editor, and I want to be better at it. I miss editing. Showing off them skills. So, a library sounds like a better place for everyone to go, or start migrating to. Because it's just, people don't like corporate America. People have not liked corporate America for almost the past 100 years, pretty much. Since the onset of corporations, no one's really liked them, because it's all about the money. Because remember, corporate America doesn't care about you. They care about results. Like my previous bosses. Their boss was, they don't want the truth. They don't want excuses, they don't want explanations, they don't want the truth. They want results. Just results. Because results bring money. But when there's a problem, just whatever fixes it the fastest in order to get back to making results. That's not a way to run a company. So, yeah. So, it's nice that we're going, there's a trend going towards the people, going towards the future, with all this, like crypto. Crypto was, that's what's helping with LBRY, is this crypto thing, which was back in the beginning, which was Bitcoin. What was cryptocurrency about? It was money for the people, not the countries. Because even today, countries, large or small, they fail. And when they fail, that money that you made doesn't exist anymore. It might as well be monopoly money. And it still happens. So with cryptocurrency, it's not a country currency, it is a world country. It's money for the people, not money for the world, not a currency for the world instead of a currency for a country or a nation. So having all this stuff helps us be more fair to the people, by the people, and for the people. That's what this nation said at the beginning. And look where it is now. So remember, we are going towards a better future. We're creating this because it's people, it's creators that create new content. And how much do I want to bet in the near future, when someone creates a demonetized internet and pulls it off, the same things in that book are going to happen. Same thing as everything else that's come true in science fiction. Because we build it with our own hands. So, take care and see you in the future. Oh, my hand. Ow, 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 ow.